Hello, I'm Prince Thunderflare, brother analysis extraordinaire, and you've probably been wondering what's been keeping me from making videos. Well, a lot of my work has been collabs, which takes a lot more time. In fact, I've completed two more collabs, one with FNGR, who really needs to buy out, and another with Lightning Bliss, actually her first collab ever, and links in the description for those channels. Description's probably going to move like over here now so that I look stupid when I point down, right? But anyway, yeah, check out their channels too. They do some good work. Other things that have been delaying my work is Keyframe was drawing a title card for one of my videos, and he unfortunately got sick, so that's been delayed. And that was the video that I made for Sweetie Bloom's birthday. Anyway, so there's been a lot of stuff delaying my work, so I decided to do vlogs, so I would at least have something I could guarantee to get out every week, something easy, something that will require minimal editing, maybe editing out some of the embarrassing bloopers, but very minimal editing, and as time would go on I would make less bloopers, hopefully. Or maybe not hopefully. Maybe the bloopers will make this popular. You never know. So anyway, there's the question of what to cover. And I thought I'm gonna cover that supplementary material I've been meaning to cover forever. I mean, I did cover the first two arcs to the comic books, and those reviews were pretty good for my early days. I might not actually do vlogs on those, but I think I'll start with the chapter books. I already did a review of the Journal of the Two Sisters, but these chapter books are a different matter entirely. They're all written by J.M. Barrow, who's actually going to be a writer of one of the episodes of Season 5. Actually, in the grand scheme of things, I am really interested to seeing what he'll bring to the show, but if it was just based on this book, Twilight Sparkle and the Crystal Heart Spell, I would be horrified, because this is garbage. You've heard people complain about the Mysterious Ne'er-do-well, about Rainbow Falls, about Dragon Quest, about Spike at Your Service. This is worse than all of those combined. This is just stupid. Every single word in this is just brain dead. I really just can't wrap my mind around it that the other 4 chapter books he's written so far are actually pretty good. They're all actually really good, but this one is just a horrid train wreck. I can't even... Okay. Let's start with the first and most obvious problem. Twilight Sparkle is a complete idiot in this. Alright, she's wondering about what being a princess means. You know, she's worried about whether or not she can be a princess because we haven't seen enough of that already. Okay, this was written before Season 4, so that hadn't exactly been hammered into the ground. But still, yeah, we've seen this before, and it really doesn't amount to anything. And what does Twilight do? Just Spike. You do realize Spike is your direct line to Princess Celestia. You could ask her for some advice. You might not be her student, but she's still much more experienced than you. She would still know stuff you don't. Why are you not exploiting this? I understand that building it up to her talking Cadence, but the build up to that just is so ham-fisted. Or I suppose ham-hoofed in this case. Horse puns. Yeah, that's another thing. The comment about Burrow in general. He writes like he's a brony analyst. Which is both a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is that he does a lot of world building. The bad thing is that he makes ridiculous horse puns. Yeah, let's get to the specific problems with this. Okay, next problem. Cadence. What was built up about this book, which really is not the book's fault, is the fact that it was going to cover Cadence's backstory. By cover it, I mean summarize. It does not give us the key details. It just tells us generally what happened. That there was this wizard named Prisma who was evil and that Cadence reformed her. Okay, what are the details? I mean, this is a chapter book. See, in an episode of the show, they have certain excuses, like, you know, the length. It has to fit a certain length, which is kind of stupid. It's a really terrible thing about television that I really want to go away. That's why I like internet shows, because they're not limited by the time constraints that television has. But, you see, the thing is that with a chapter book, you can take as long as you need to. Okay, why isn't there, like, 5 chapters that's all flashback? That's all Cadence's backstory? How would this be a bad thing? How would this not improve on the story? But it really amounts to nothing. It just doesn't make any sense for them to just shoehorn in Cadence's backstory. It was like he was given these specific checklists of a task. And you just went down each check without really thinking about how to execute it effectively. And yeah, that sucks. Also, when the idiot ball hit Twilight, it must have bounced off and hit Cadence, because she does something really stupid too. You see that necklace Twilight's wearing that she never wears again because it's like the fire ruby from Secret of My Excess? Yeah, that's apparently a magic MacGuffin that is powered by emotions. The more negative emotions you feel, the more it corrupts you. The more positive emotions you feel, the more it... whatever the opposite of corruption is. And Cadence, in her infinite wisdom, decides to give this to emotionally unstable Twilight frickin' Sparkle. What? Why would you do that? Lock that thing up! Did Twilight keep the Alicorn amulet, or did she give it to Sakura to lock up? In fact, Sakura may have eventually given it to Celestia. I mean, that would make even more sense. But why is this thing so terribly dangerous? No one would be able to use it properly because no one can be filled with positive emotions for long enough to... So yeah, Twilight wears this necklace, and then she talks to her friends about what to do as a princess, and they give her some advice, and all of a sudden, because of magic, she does not respect their opinions. Wait, what? Okay, I absolutely hate Ticketmaster, but it established something very important. You see, there have been discussions left, right, and center who deserved the ticket more. But those discussions are kind of moot in the episode itself. Because Twilight Sparkle thought all of their reasons were good ones. She respected them. She thought they all had good reasons to go, which is why the decision was so hard for her. I get that. That made sense. There's a lot of other stuff in that episode that doesn't make sense, but that's in the story entirely. But the fact is, this just kind of spits in the face of that. That wasn't just some obscure thing that was stated in, like, episode 48. It was something that was early established in the show itself. If you watch the show, you know Twilight Sparkle respects her friends' opinions. Or at least tries to. She's the princess of friendship, for crying out loud! I know the title wasn't official until the end of season 4, but it was pretty blinking obvious! Okay, so now we're done with the good part of the book. Now we're going to talk about the bad part of the book. Yeah, that wasn't even the worst of it. That was not the worst of it. This has a lot worse to do. Hey, are you a fan of Trixie? Of Gilda? Well, tough luck, because this just shits on them. Okay, so apparently Trixie and Gilda teamed up to pull a cider scam. Burrow, I think you've mistaken them for someone else. Because that sounds... Yeah, that does not sound like either of them. Kind of like Gilda, because Gilda pulled a prank once, but a cider scam? A scam? No, that's not really where Gilda is as a character. And here's an even better question. Why is Gilda still in Ponyville? Why would she still be there? What was she saying?
Hey, I think you guys are all lame, but I'm gonna still hang out here anyway. Can I borrow $5?
What? Why is she there? She hates everyone in the town! And why is she working with Trixie? She hates ponies. She made that quite clear. She thinks all ponies are babos. And why is Trixie working with Gilda? Okay, the comics have made it quite clear, and it's an easy assumption to make in the show, that Trixie is reasonably intelligent. She should be able to tell that this Griffin is nothing but trouble. And why is she running a scam? Okay, running a show where she exaggerates her abilities, that makes sense for where she is as a character, even now. But a scam is evil. But let's not beat around the bush. It's evil. It's not, like, take over the world, superhero evil. Supervillain evil, I should say. But it's still kind of evil. So why would she be doing that? She's supposed to be a good person. Why is this? And of course, they give Twilight advice. Once again, why would Gilda do this? Gilda hates Twilight for association with Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash. Why would... And she listens to them. Now, I can see how this could have worked much better if they just used Trixie, and if she was trying to give Twilight advice, but the advice was kind of bad advice. You know, that she accidentally made things worse. That would make sense. But that's not what happened. What happened made absolutely no fucking sense. Alright, and I'm going to spoil the ending, but does it count as a spoiler if the ending is a total letdown? Okay, so, as you can probably guess from that setup, with the crystal heart there, but not the real crystal heart, it's the little crystal heart. Can't you name your MacGuffin something else? Anyway, what happens is, of course, that it corrupts Twilight. Oh boy, evil Twilight. This should be interesting. Spoiler alert, no it isn't! Because evil Twilight is just a shut-in who spends all her time reading books. I would burn this book, but that isn't enough. I want to take every single copy of this book, put it in a pile, burn it, purge the ashes with salt, bulldoze over them, seal it with dark magic, then build a shopping mall on top of it! So yeah, I don't like it. Keyframe got sick, and she was drawing some... Keyframe was drawing some... Keyframe... Bloopers.